In 1814, at the age of 54, Beethoven completed his most famous work of all time, the Ninth Symphony. Written by a deaf man who couldn't overcome the misery of his daily life, the Ninth Symphony was revolutionary. The first symphony ever to use a chorus. At the premiere of the Ninth in 1824, Beethoven couldn't even hear the raucous ovation of the audience. One of the musicians had to turn him around for him to see them applauding music without words, transcending language. He changed the way that the audience valued music, making it something they could engage with, talk with, rather than just something to play in the background. Born in 1770 in Germany, Ludwig van Beethoven is considered as the greatest composer and pianist who changed the course of Western classical music forever. He left for Vienna in November 1792 amid rumors of war spilling out of France. Vienna in the late 18th century was the hub of European music as the greatest musicians and the artists came here to showcase their talents in front of the noblemen. Beethoven's high energy and brilliant performance vaulted him the poshest musical circles in Vienna. By the mid of 1790s, just a few years after arriving in Vienna, Beethoven was playing recitals all over town. In his early 20s, he was developing the reputation of a daring newcomer. To set himself apart from any of his rivals, he played the repertoire of devilishly challenging works and attacked the piano with a gusto and intensity that the Viennese had never seen before. Women would faint, men would weep, things would be hurled down the stage. Beethoven's way of treating the instrument was unlike anyone else. At that time, artists suffered great amounts of stress due to the brutal censorship rules of the authoritarian regime. People say that's why Viennese were so cheerful, because they wanted to escape from this political oppression. It became even more authoritarian after the reign of Joseph II, who was a very enlightened monarch and one of Beethoven's personal heroes. Beethoven's ambition was felt in his performance. You can move people in ways that are not limited by words. Beethoven knew that operas were easy to censor, but music, not so much. He used his music to revolt against the regime and the inhuman and brutal structure of aristocracy. Beethoven was convinced that as a creator, he was second only to God, and an aristocrat was simply someone born with the title. An interesting anecdote about his temper is revealed when he stormed out of Prince Lichnowsky's estate, leaving behind a note that said, "There are thousands of princes like Lichnowsky in the world, but there's only one Beethoven." He fell passionately in love with one of his pupils, the Countess Giulietta. It was to woo her that in 1801 he wrote the delicate Moonlight Sonata. While smitten by his charisma, Giulietta was not going to marry a man with no royal title, a pattern that follows Beethoven all his life. In his late 20s, he began to notice that he was losing his sense of hearing, and he was terrified. His hearing loss made his notorious temper even worse. He would become violent, abusive, and physical. Wild mood swings seemed to dominate his life. Beethoven was devastated. In a letter to his brother, which he never sent and was found after his death, he wrote, "There is little holding me back from ending my own life. It is only art that is keeping me going." The letter marked a major turning point. His creative spirit rebounded dramatically. The chaos in his head was reflected in his furiously scribbled musical notes. He allowed himself to transcend his rage through his music. One of his compositions, the grandiose Third Symphony, reflects his soaring confidence. He dedicated it to his hero, Napoleon Bonaparte, the giant of the French Revolution. Beethoven idolized Napoleon for his anti-aristocratic message. Napoleon became a brother or even a father figure to Beethoven. He thought that Napoleon would guide his countrymen into a utopian new world. Just a year later, when Napoleon declared himself as the Emperor of Europe, Beethoven felt so betrayed that his hero had turned into a tyrant that he violently tore Napoleon's name off his musical score and named it Heroic. Beethoven was carrying his own musical revolution with his booming Fifth Symphony in 1808 with its famous, bold and dynamic opening. By 1809, Beethoven was 39 years old and his deafness was advancing rapidly. Barely 10 years after his days as a star pianist in the European stage, he gave a series of disastrous recitals. They made him realize that he had to quit playing because he couldn't hear himself anymore. He turned to composing full-time. He had to press his ears to the wood of the piano to create the lustrous Seventh Symphony in 1811. In 1820, Beethoven was 50 and was suffering from a personal and musical watershed. For the last 5 years, he had fought a grueling custody battle for his nephew that had left him emotionally scarred. He he began to grow increasingly eccentric. The most famous composer that the world had ever known began a vagabond in the streets of Vienna. People called him insane and children threw small things at him in the streets. He didn't bathe and wore the same suit for weeks, wandering drunk in the streets like a hobo. Many of his friends abandoned him as his temper and mood swings got worse. Landlords kicked him out and he ruined one apartment after another with piles of sheet music and leftover meals scattered everywhere. From the outside, his life was a chaotic mess. But inside his head, the music kept playing. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can suggest us anything in the comment section below.